Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina, I am your host, and I am excited to be here with you today to go over that car seat you see behind me. So we are going to be discussing the Romer Baby Nexa All-in-One car seat. So if you haven't yet, now would be a perfect time to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If it makes sense to share this video, share it away. And the other thing that I would let you know is that you can also support this channel by heading over to my website, destinationbabykids.com. I'm a real brick and mortar store here in the greater San Francisco Bay Area. Sell everything best for baby. Lots of stuff to see on that website. So even if you're not necessarily interested in this car seat, there could be other things you could find on our website that make sense for you. We've got gifts, we've got everything best for baby. So head on over to destinationbabykids.com. If you like this car seat from this video, go ahead and purchase it directly from my website, destinationbabykids.com. I can ship it to you for free. And again, subscribing and utilizing the website for purchases is the best way to show your support. Your support enables me to make these kind of videos. So I am so appreciative of you. Thank you so much for watching. Commercial over. Let's launch into the Romer Nexa All-in-One car seat. Okay, so here we are with the Romer Nexa car seat. So this is an all-in-one car seat from a brand called Romer. So all-in-one refers to the fact that it is rear-facing from 5 pounds through to 50 pounds and between 18 and 49 standing inches. It would be a forward-facing 5-point car seat from 30 pounds and 35 inches up to 65 pounds and 49 standing inches. And then it is also a booster seat. You heard me correctly. Booster seat for a child 40 to 120 pounds. And I do believe up to, it was kind of a shocking height. It was really tall. 44 inches through 63 inches. So kiddo minimum would have to be, 44 inches tall and 4 years old and 40 to 120 pounds before you would start using it as a booster. But again, we would recommend holding off till even further on using it as a booster seat because we're always going to advocate for best practice, which is remaining rear facing as long as possible in the car seat. And then the next thing that you would do is remain forward facing in the 5-point harness as long as possible. And then booster mode, high back belt positioning booster mode is your last line of defense with the seat, which it does do very well, but just interesting differences for the weight and heights of the seat. So basically goes from 5 pounds up through 120. So their thought is this is one car seat that you buy that'll work for the entire life of using it for your kiddo. Now, that being said, it is not a portable car seat in that it doesn't have a handle where it clicks onto a stroller. Those are typically referred to as infant car seats. Those car seats only work for generally around the first 12 to 18 months of a baby's life because they physically outgrow it by then, and then you switch to a seat like this. But if you wanted to skip infant car seat altogether and start with this car seat, you certainly can do that. So the seat has a lot of very cool features that you would expect in this kind of a price point. So what price point are we talking? The seat is $749, available in 2 different colors. So this black color here with this beautiful kind of charcoal on the side, this is called peppercorn. Very, very popular color option. And then they do a really nice brown called truffle. If you're curious to see that color, you could check out my video on the other Romer car seat that I carry, the Veni. Beautiful color truffle, also available on this car seat. You can see it on my website, destinationbabykids.com. You can purchase directly from there for either model. Veni is just a convertible car seat, meaning Veni has no opportunity to do a booster mode, whereas this car seat is going to do the booster mode. So that, again, explains the higher price point on this seat and sort of the additional feature that you would get on this seat versus a convertible seat like the Veni. Now on this model, I've gone ahead and installed the cup holders. 2 are included in that purchase price. It does make the seat a little bit wider. So it is a very narrow seat, even with the cup holders, but without the cup holders, obviously a little narrower. So with the cup holders on, it is 18.25 inches wide. With the cup holders off, so we are able to remove those and put caps on, the seat would be 17.5 inches wide. So if you were looking for an option to do a 3 across and you wanted really, really high quality materials and excellent safety features, because this seat also includes for rear facing mode an anti-rebound bar with a vegan leather handle, very nice, and the mesh, very, very pretty. But this is available. It comes with the seat when you purchase it. So when we set it up in rear-facing mode, we're gonna be sure to show that off. So again, a seat with fabulous fabric, The fabric is all flame retardant free. It's free of chemicals. It is naturally inherently flame retardant. The makeup of the material is 30% polyester, and then it is 20% upcycled like oyster shells. So it's a sea material on the seat, and then the remaining 50% is new polyester. So it's a fair blend of recycled, upcycled materials, and then also new material as well. But very, very soft to the touch, extremely high amounts of padding on the seat, so it's a very, very padded seat, which is quite nice for comfort, and does have breathability throughout the seat. The other thing as far as safety is concerned, if you look at the side of the seat and the shape of this kind of grating on the side, that is meant to become more difficult to crunch together in an accident. So it takes longer for the energy to transfer from the force of the accident to your kiddo because of this essentially crumple zone that's built into the side of the seat. So very, very nice safety features in the seat, as well as bike helmet foam on the inside. But when I recline the seat, you can even see these numbers on the side. Right now it reads B, that's booster mode. Oh, and actually, the recline on this seat is not in the front. It's more usefully attached to the side of the seat. So not for the sake of this video, but typically when you're installing it in your car, having the recline here versus on the front of the seat is pretty smart, because having it on the front of the seat can be difficult if you're installing the seat backwards. You basically are rubbing your knuckles against the back of your vehicle seat. So this is good placement. So here we have position 8 as our most upright, and that goes all the way down to position 1 for most reclined. So before I get into saying there's an 8 position recline, keep in mind that some of these extreme upright and reclined positions may not be able to be utilized in your vehicle. There is a spectrum on the side of the seat, which is on both sides of the seat, I should add, which is awesome, because on your less expensive car seats, if they include any type of leveling device, it's usually only on one side of the seat. Here it's on both, but there is an indicator. So like there's a blue sticker for rear facing, no neck control, and then there's a green stripy line for forward facing, and then you can be in either blue or green for rear facing with neck control. But then there's also a bit of black, and so the black is not acceptable. And then position B is for booster. So there's a broad variety of positions to make this seat work on a broad variety of vehicles. So even though there's 8 recline positions and booster, we may not utilize every single position that the seat offers just based on the pitch of our back seat. But it does have a lot of movement, which is pretty great. Now keep in mind, like most stationary convertible or stationary all-in-one seats, meaning the seat does not rotate toward your door, this seat will, because the seat doesn't rotate, you won't have adjustable recline while the seat is installed. So this is typical on your Nuna stationary seats. This is typical on your Peg Perego stationary seats. Stationary seats in general, with the exception of like Kleck and Baby Arc, they don't have adjustable recline while the seat is installed. Now, if you go to a rotational seat on like Nuna or Cybex, you might get that recline on a rotational seat, but you're not going to get it on a stationary seat. So just little differences. But again, this is in line with the other stationary seats out there, so it doesn't make me upset. And speaking of that recline, we got a measurement of 31 inches deep at its most reclined and 28 inches at its most upright. So it's pretty, again, in line with most convertible and all-in-one car seats in terms of how much room it takes up in the car front to back. Now, there were some things, so let's talk about the latch limits. So it does include lower anchors, which all car seats do. However, this car seat has a particularly special way to install super easily with either seatbelt or lower anchor. So I'm probably just going to demonstrate it with the seatbelt, because the seatbelt is so easy on this seat that I don't even want to mess with the lower anchors, to be perfectly honest. So we will show that. It's a fabulous way to install a seat that inspires confidence in people, and it's like a 2-second installation, so very easy, and we will go over that. But our latch limits, if you were inclined to use the lower anchors, our rear-facing latch limit is 30 pounds, our forward-facing latch limit is 35 pounds. The seat has a steel frame, so it's not particularly lightweight, but again, it's not intended to be a portable seat, not one that you're bringing in and out of daycare. It's one that kind of stays in the car once it's installed. So the steel frame is actually a good thing. Another interesting part of this seat is that if you are dealing with a car that has just a lap belt, as a harnessed car seat, so not as a booster seat, but as a harnessed car seat, lap belt on its own is okay, provided you have a top tether for forward facing. But just if you are looking for an unusual vehicle that just has a lap belt and you're finding a lot of other car seats are fussy and they're saying you need lap shoulder, this one, nice option. It can be used with a lap belt in the rear facing or forward facing, providing you have a top tether. Now, there were some things about the seat. Also the depth of the seat is 13 inches, so it's a relatively deep seat, and that interior width is 11.5 inches, if I didn't state that. So I just want to make sure I did go over that. Now, getting into that, this seat passes the new Motor Vehicle Federal Side Safety Standards, so this is a good thing. However, this seat, much like all the other seats I've been reviewing lately, comes with side impact padding in the seat that cannot be adjusted really until after the child is 40 pounds. So what do I mean by that? If you watch my video about like some of the Gracos that have come out lately, and definitely the Nuna Rava Next and the Exec Next, what you'll notice is that those seats come with side impact pieces on the inside, and even the Lumen from Nuna, they did this last year. They have very, very specific plastic little pieces or like hard foam pieces on the side of the seat that stay on the interior of the seat for children less than 40 pounds. And this is to meet that new side impact safety regulation. So this is a good thing. This seat has a lot of clarity in the book about what we're doing, but it comes with a ton of padding, so I want to go over some of this padding. The first set of padding, which is for optional use, is a butt pillow and a head and body pillow. So this kind of shows those pieces, and it does say right on the pillow 5 to 20 pounds usage, so you know when to remove it. The body pillow on the top is a little frustrating because the head can separate from the body component, but it reads in the book repeatedly that you have to use both components together if you're going to use them, meaning these two pieces. You can use the butt pillow individually or this pillow individually. You can use them both together, but only up through 20 pounds, obviously exclusively in rear-facing mode. So those pillow pieces are there if you want them. Very useful, especially if you're going to use this seat for a new baby to help achieve the proper head and neck support angle that you would want. Now, the pads in question, or the pads that were giving me the most consternation when I was reading the manual, is that there is an additional panel in the seat, as well as a piece that they call the head bib. So this is the head bib right here. It unfolds down. Now underneath the head bib, I want to pull this up just so the viewing audience can see. Underneath the head bib, on the interior material, there are some Velcro pieces. And I noticed those right away because I was like, what the hell are those for? I've never seen anything like that before. Those are for this additional pad that's in the bottom of the seat here. So this is a little different approach that Romer has taken versus the other big car seat manufacturers. They are not enabling this body pillow that's in the seat down here, this guy. They're not enabling that to be removable. Okay, so all the other car seat brands, you have this opportunity to take that pad out if you want. Here it's attached to the fabric of the seat. So this was a pretty unique decision on their part to do this. And I'm just seeing if like these work to pull this back and away. Okay, those sort of work. The idea is you just tuck that over. I think maybe you're supposed to do it like lower. I don't know. But anyway, the point of the story with this pad is that irrespective of the seat being backward or forward orientation, this pad remains folded in a downward mode for a kid, always less than 40 pounds. So if your baby is less than 40 pounds sitting in this seat, this pad is folded downward. Once they get past 40 pounds, in backward or forward mode, when it's a harness, you have the opportunity to pop this pad up. And so these are these side impact pieces we were talking about, but this guy is physically sewn into the seat. What they want you to do for later on, and you'll notice on this pad when I pull it upward, there are spots for my fingers to come through. That's where that Velcro that's behind this head bib meets up with this guy. So once kiddos get past 40 pounds in backward or forward harness mode, you have the opportunity, if you want, to put this guy up. But you need to be sure that you engage doing the Velcro through it and that your bib piece is the part that comes down over the rest of it. So it takes those plastic side pieces that are in here and moves them from where the hips are up to the side of the body. Now this is where it gets interesting. That piece is always utilized in this mode as a booster seat. And of course this makes sense, right? Because like with booster, the kid is at least 40 pounds and up. And at that point, it probably doesn't make sense for them to have that down low. But there was just so much language surrounding this pad psychotically in the manual that I thought it would just be useful to point out to people, hey, it always has to be down if your kid is less than 40 pounds. If they're between that 40 and 65 pounds, still using 5-point harness, which is this guy, you have the option for picking that piece to be folded up or down. Once they move to booster, that piece is always going to be up. So, and I would think about it this way too. After they're 40 pounds, it's probably more comfortable to move that piece up anyway, irrespective if you're using it as a 5-point harness or as a booster seat. But I give them credit for leaving that piece in. Now, I kind of love it and I kind of hate it. If it gets dirty, I guess it's more work, but like to remove the fabric and clean it. But all car seats are a lot of work to remove the fabric and clean. This should be relatively simple. That's what it states in the manual, to remove the fabric if you want to. So again, just sort of understanding that component right there, because it is totally different than any other car seat I've ever used before. I just wanted to point out, side impact panel is in the car seat and we never have to worry about losing it. But we do want to make sure that when we put it back to its correct spot, that everything's folded up nicely and that it's sitting appropriately in the seat and our harness pieces are coming through the correct spots of the seat and we're not doing it in the wrong spot. So as far as installation is concerned, I'll just show this really briefly. If you lift up the pad on the bottom of the seat, there's a pincher, and that opens up this monster mouth, as I like to say. And you have what's called a open rear-facing belt path, and then here through the back of the seat where my hand is, this is the belt path for a forward-facing car seat as well. So again, the installation on this seat for rear or forward-facing with seat belt is remarkably easy. Check out my video showing that, because we won't show it in this video. But again, a seat that has the option for backward, forward, booster goes up to, again, with the booster, it was crazy, up to 120 pounds, and then the height was really tall. It was 63 standing inches. So again, taller than most booster seats. Most booster seats cut out at 57 or 54 standing inches, some at 52. So again, going up to the 63 inches, very, very nice feature. And our torso harness height on this seat is exceedingly long. It is, again, the 19.5 inches of seated torso height, which is longer than almost all the all-in-one seats out there. So nice option from Romer, $749, 2 colors. Head on over to my website, destinationbabykids.com. You can check out the colors, pick which one works best for you, order it up, and we will ship it right to you. Now, if you're curious, watch the installation videos. They're helpful in addition to going over the manual. Okay, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you in our next video.